Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear from our host, Andy Albright.
All righty. I am real pumped up about this this session, this training with the TWC. My name is Andy Albright. We're the Alliance, and we got some of our fast-growing producers, recruiters, and builders on the call. And we have a special announcement here that has just happened. Jake and Beret, how y'all doing?
Doing great,
What's
Andy.
up?
How are
Good to see
you?
you.
Why don't y'all introduce yourselves and tell them just a little bit about y'all, and I'll tell them what has just happened.
Well, my name is Jake Joseph. This is my wife, Beret. We're out in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gosh, was invited. Oh, there's the alarm for the TWC nonstop. Let's see, been married now
8 years.
8 years, married 8 years, been together 13. We got two beautiful little girls. Reina is now 11. Catalina is 9. They'll be there. You guys will meet them if you haven't met them yet. They're going to be there at family reunion. They're excited to meet Ben Carson. They watched the movie with their mom, so they're real excited. Been with the company now about 6, coming on 7 years. I built movie sets for about 6 years prior to this in Albuquerque, tearing them apart, building them up. And while Vray was going to school and doing some other stuff, I'll let her share.
Yeah, so I was going to school full-time, working at a doctor's office, raising 2 little ones. So when we were introduced to the Alliance, our girls were 2 and 5 at that time. So yeah, just been super excited and grateful to be here. Just grateful a family friend opened the door for us, and we're just excited. We're grateful for all of our friendships that we've made. So.
Yeah, congratulations. You guys got a fantastic business all over the country. Do you have any idea, you could just guess or give me an idea, how many different states do y'all have people that are selling?
At least 5.
Gosh, 5 to 6 different states.
5 or 6 different states.
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine if you just have one more person in each state.
Right. It's exciting.
That's what I try to get people to understand is like, it doesn't take 1 million people. We're not building a Chinese army, right? We're not going to fight a war. It's just a few people. Just one more person in South Carolina, one more person in Tennessee, one more person in Seattle, Washington, out of 5 million people in a state. And we just get 1 or 2 of them on your team. And all of a sudden it adds up to the kind of income that you guys are making. Give me a ballpark. What was y'all's income to you, not your downline, just in your bank accounts last year, and what are you predicting for this year?
Last year
it was just shy of 300,000.
Yeah,
I think it was like 290, 295.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And this year we're going to go over 600.
Yeah, over 600.
It's exciting.
That's great. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Is it real?
Oh,
Yeah, it's real. It feels like Monopoly money, but we're getting used to it. Yeah. We've got.
Yes, it does feel like Monopoly money,
right.
but it's not.
It takes me back to one of our first conferences. There was a guy and a girl, older couple, making money is fun. I don't remember.
Oh, you went to that meeting, GW?
I think that was like
GW and Edna.
And
Yes.
he had that book. Yeah. His wife, I don't know if his wife was there, but
she was.
Oh, she was?
She was there.
He talked on stage and he gave out.
King, GW King.
Yeah.
It's fun making money. He lost a little weight. He used to be a big old fat boy. It was more fun when he got, it's fun making money. Yeah, I used to play that over in my mind so many times. I listened to their cassette tapes and audios. Have you heard it? You should we should get a historical audio of him. He's one of the top guys in Amway when I was in network marketing, and I used to hear him, and then I got a chance to bring him in, and I wanted all my guys to meet him and just listen to his attitude. Because it is like Monopoly money. When it gets, it is. Like when you spend it, you're just trading. I just opened my desk. I was telling us it's a good feeling. I just went on a trip and I had too much cash. I didn't want to carry it. So all this was just sitting in my desk. And I was like, oh, that's good. I forgot I left that there. But it's fun, especially giving it away. It's really fun. A couple of people taking me up on this one. TIPS. Y'all know what TIPS stands for? To ensure promptness. Here's the problem. Most people give tips after they've had a bad experience. I tip on the way in. Come here. There's more where this come from. Let's going to give you this. Let's get your mind right. Take care of my friends, my children. Make sure this glass don't even get close to getting empty. And I need you smiling. You know, I don't need an attitude. Just seriously, just put this in your pocket. Let's keep it moving.
Smart.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. A little piece of paper. And you get the nicest person who knows where all the extra bread and all the extra drinks and all the free desserts and they don't care. You just lit them up, and now they just take care of you. And they gave away a piece of paper that's worthless. You like this? I guess if you made a cigarette out of it or something, it'd be useful. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's no use. But to get a person to do that. So, congratulations, you guys. I don't think you got in this. I don't know. I don't know if you were looking for something to make that kind of money. Ask y'all say, did y'all looking for something to get big, or are you just looking for something to pay the bills when you first got started?
So it makes me think of MTV Cribs. And so for those of you maybe that aren't in our generation, MTV Cribs was a show where camera crews go into celebrities' houses, like NBA player, like Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal. You could see what his house looked like. And I remember watching those, and I was like, how, like, there's NBA players, they're actresses and actors. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be an actor, and I don't think I'm going to be a professional athlete, as you can see. So maybe like a jockey on a horse. That's about the best thing I can think of.
Too tall.
So we always just, because I didn't know anyone that could do it. It felt way out of reach. So when we saw this, it was a glimpse into that. And we met you, we met Mike and Noel, we met Dukes, and we started meeting these people who actually had the stuff that you see on TV. So yeah, it gave us a huge chunk of hope to actually, like, hey, we could have that stuff. We saw the travel. Our first trip to earn was the Alaskan cruise. So we love traveling. But yeah, no, heck, I mean,
we got in to do it. We're not going to dip our toes in. Whatever Jake and Bray have done, we've done with excellence. Teen parents, excellent teen parents. We've done that. Our jobs, we were excellent. We were the best people at our jobs. So when I saw this, I didn't know it was going to turn into something this big, but I knew I wasn't going to do it half-ass.
So yes, we want to be rich.
Yep, I will say, y'all jump in, y'all make it happen. Y'all don't piddle around. Well, congratulations on what you've done, and I'm letting everybody know these guys are just superstars. They've been selling, recruiting like crazy, building, helping other people be successful, and it's always interesting to see what people everybody hits me with. Everybody wants to be rich. Obviously, we want to be rich. And it's like, really not so much. Like, I would say 99% of the people have no desire to get rich, or maybe 94% have no desire to get rich. And then as soon as they start doing the work, it goes from 94% to 99% of them are not interested, because there's always work, activity, sacrifice, dedication, determinants, and all things like that people just not interested in. They're all interested in lottery ticket rich. And this is something critical that I'm trying to think how else. I guess Chat GPT could help you with this, but my way of showing people is when we fly around on a private jet and we land a jet and we get out, we start walking around, I go, do you think that's an athlete's jet? You don't see any logos on it. And I mean, occasionally we'll come by Jordan's jet, occasionally a WWE, but it's not Ric Flair's, it's WWE jet. But 99.99% of the time, it's like Uline. Like, who's Uline? Some guy. What are those boxes? That's called all the piping and plumbing stuff. It's by Uline Manufacturing, multi-billionaire. Toilet paper manufacturers, chair manufacturers, textile machinery people, dental equipment, dental networks, health insurance, life insurance. It's not athletes and not musicians that have jets. They got them, but there's only like a handful of them. But when you look at manufacturing in America, if you look at distribution in America, I tell you another big one. There's life insurance distribution, there's beer distribution, and there's liquor distribution. But it's not one guy selling liquor, it's his distribution. So distribution, manufacturing in America is loaded with rich people. And fortunately for us, hundreds of millions of people that are not rich, and some of them, very few of them, want to be. And I've had conversation with you guys about it. What do you want? Because one of the hardest things for people to decide is what they want. As a kid, I, like you, watched Cribs and many other shows. I'm a television freak, and I just watch it and I see these people and I go, I want to do that. The tip thing. I heard people talking about that on television. I'd be like, I'm in. Sounds good to me. Don't hold back. So much fun. Well, here's the big thing that's happened. So as we build our businesses bigger and bigger, we have a promotion schedule that people can earn more recognition, more promotions, more commissions, which means more money, and rings. So do y'all have your agency manager ring on? Do you have your agency manager ring? All right, so that's the little agency manager ring. So today, or I should say the end of the month, it was really, really close, and these guys were hoping to become junior board members. So we are going to be giving away these massive rings for new junior board members. Jake and Ray Joseph. Woo!
Oh.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to put these on your hands, and I know everybody's fired up. Jerry's fired up, and Mike and Joe and Noel, everybody's fired up for y'all. Everybody's sending you congratulations. But I want the world to know, so we're excited because it's very few board members on the team, and I'm just so thrilled to welcome y'all to it. Y'all deserve it. All right, here we go. Pass those around. Y'all take a look at it. It was so fired up. They were so cool looking. I went and got my toothbrush out and got my toothpaste. Then I shined it cleaner, trying to get. I think I'm going to have to refurbish mine. I've been wearing mine so much. But those things are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. We're excited.
We're fired up.
Speech.
I went into the girls' room. They don't share a room, but they like to sleep together. So I went in this morning at about 5:30 and woke them up and started causing a ruckus and dancing. And they said, "We're proud of you. We believed in you."
That's so cool. Yeah. What say you, Jake?
I mean, you and Mike and Noel and Dukes, you guys have taught us a lot of things, and get to know people before you need to know them. Because I mean, we'll talk more at family reunion, but man, it's not a one-man show. It really isn't. There's so many people in the team that really stepped it up, and people at court, just so many names I could start naming, but understand it's not a one-man show. It's not a Jake and Bray show. It's the Alliance show, really. It really is. So we're fired up. And we're really excited to break out more board members and more managers, because we need more. This is the start of the growth, even more. So I mean, it perpetuates. One little thing could be the linchpin. It could be the straw. It could be the thing that changes everything. It's just like when you said your kids are coming to the convention. Jane and I have always took our kids to everything we would possibly do. If they could just rub up against a Dr. Ben Carson or a Dr. John Maxwell or Eric, the hip hop preacher, just get around them and just touch them and talk to them and see how they act and hear their talk, hear their pitch, read their book, because it's life changing. So I'm thrilled with that.
help me, Varay, you invited your mom when y'all were getting an award just to come see the award, right?
Yeah, I think it was when we were going RM or NM. I forget which one, but in Denver, it was View from the Edge, and I invited my mom and my stepdad Sam. I invited my dad, and then one of my mentors, my papo. And I originally thought that I was going to get my dad in the business.
That was the plan.
Jason B is like the biggest otter, Coors Light drinking. Like he would be a great.
He's a good carrier rep. We were talking to Derek with Moo. We were trying to see if we can get him as a carrier rep.
So I thought my dad was gonna like see a spark, and who saw a spark was my mom. So she loved the interaction. She just felt so proud of us. But what she told me was what she loved even more is how she saw you guys interacting with us, and Mike and Noel and Joseph Dukes and the team. And she said it just made her heart full. And then, so yeah, she got into class, and she's a firecracker. She got into class on a Friday night, and by Sunday morning sent me a screenshot it was done and passed her test on a Monday.
That's how long it takes to pass a test. That's to qualify to start testing. That's it. Yeah. When somebody wants it. So there's your rule. We'll talk about recruiting, getting people started. When people want to do something, they do it.
Right.
When they don't want to do it, they delay it.
Mm-hmm.
There's your tip. Because how do you know what people want to do? Well, if they do it, that means they want to do it. Well, what if they don't know? Well, that's your fault. You're the one that hired them. Teach them. Get through. It's a 40-hour class. There's 24 hours in a day. Times 2, that's 48. You got 8 left over. Quit screwing around. Quit piddling. Get off the cocaine. Get off the television. Get off the couch. Get it done. And then if they do, that tells you they want to. If they don't, that tells you they don't want to. Well, my mama died. I hear you, baby. Still 40 hours, get through the class. You're just unfeeling. I'm not unfeeling. Hold on a second. Wah. Oh, hey, oh, how much? We good? We good on the wailing and gnashing of teeth? Let's go. My dog. I know you, dog. Don't bring up the cats. Don't bring up the cats. They're my best friends, Adam and Beth. People do what they want to do. But listen, it's if you tell them. So I say what I just said to people. If you want to, then you do. If you don't want to, then you delay. And I'm a genius. I call it watch their belly button, not watch their gums. Their gums are doing this, and their belly button is just doing this right here. No movement. You with me? The belly button starts moving, the people will typically move. All right, your mama wanted to. You invited her. You're inviting your kids. Our kids are both in the business. Love it. Come to everything. They'll be at family reunion. You bring your mama to family reunion, for whatever excuse, whatever reason, and then she just hit 70,000 2 months in a row, or 75,000 personal sales 2 months in a row.
Yeah.
And she's a successful real estate agent. But I tell you this, writing 70,000 personal production 2 months in a row is selling some hellacious real estate. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that income's going to compare.
Hell yeah. Oh, no. She did like 84,000 in May, and then June, yeah, she did just over 70. So if someone wants a house or something like that, she just delegates it. Yeah, she gives it away because she's focusing on
she's splitting commissions right now, so she doesn't even go take the lockbox or put the sign in the ground. She never sees the house, so she's delegating. She's still selling houses, but she's just not showing the house. She's not going to closings. So she's amazing. Her and Sam.
So you have what does that put? What is 84 and 70 grand? Any idea what that puts in her pocket?
I think she made about 40 grand.
I'm pull up the ARC.
No.
Pull up the ARC and take your time on that. Okay, so speaking of helping people get started, y'all recruited Sarah Seifer. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, give them a highlight about your family, and then talk about a little bit how you tried to recruit Varay.
Good morning, y'all. Wow, what beautiful news to wake up to this morning. So excited for everyone. So excited for y'all, Jake and Bray. So excited. I don't want to ruin my makeup that I put on this morning, but lordy, that's really cool. We'll have to get a lavender margarita later. So yeah, my name is Sarah Seifert. I am out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a mama to 3 little boys. Got my, kind of like Andy said, I have my bachelor's of science in dental hygiene. I got my license to administer local anesthetic on my own here in New Mexico. But me and Beret, we go back. We go far back now thinking about it. 13 years ago, I got to be blessed by the presence of Varay. She was a little intern in our dental office, super cute, super pregnant, super petite. The Varay I knew, it's kind of interesting. Like, you see her, she's a lion, she's a firecracker. She didn't really show those colors in the dental office. She kind of stayed in her lane. She did her thing. But I remember it was at we were having a monthly synergy meeting, and the girl spoke. And I was like, dang, she can pack a punch. She started talking about what she wanted out of life and her goals. And she was just like an intern, so she didn't really stay around. The purpose was just to kind of get her feet wet. She wanted to go on to nursing school and PEEP and all that kind of stuff. But we stayed in contact over the years, as acquaintances do, over social media, right? I liked her. She liked me. We followed each other's journeys. And I like to pretend, I think this is the true story. I like to pretend I was trying to recruit Varay into the dental field. Truth be told, Andy Albright, I wanted to see what she was doing.
The truth comes out. Are you serious?
I mean, we were looking for people. It was COVID and people were quitting left and right. No one wanted to work in people's mouths, because it was this scary respiratory virus. So people were quitting left and right. So sure, would I love to have brought Varay back into the dental field? Absolutely. Absolutely. She was a pleasure to work with. Absolutely. But she was posting all these pictures on her Instagram about traveling the world and spending time with her kiddos. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to show my colors, but I kind of want to see what she's doing.
Good. We'll come back a little bit more about your family, your husband, the big-time attorney, the lawyer, and the kids' ages.
Yeah, it's funny. He was actually sitting in the same chair this morning, fighting with some people, fighting with some insurance companies. No, my husband, Pablo Seifert, for those of y'all that don't know him, he's a attorney at a very, very busy law firm. He's fighting to become partner. So yeah, him and Jake Joseph, they had a very interesting conversation first class on the way to Cabo. Jake was like, your business is no different than ours. You guys still have a comp structure. You still are fighting for shares. And it was cool seeing them and kind of interact. But no, my husband, yeah, he's a very, very busy attorney. So what that leaves me is home with the little ones. Oftentimes you can see I'm hutched up in the little one's playroom right now. It's summer. So Lord, pray for me if this door opens. I told them, here's all the snacks, all the chocolate, all whatever you need for the next hour, 90 minutes. You do what you're going to do. Don't kill each other. But yeah, busy stuff going on in the Seifert household. That's for sure. And now obviously I'm going into my 3rd year into this insurance thing, and it's just growing. We're growing.
How old are your kids?
They are now 3, 5, and just 8.
People do what people want to do. 3, 5, and 8. She's got a full-time career. Husband who's got a full-time career, devoted to being an attorney, wants to be the lawyer thing, and then 3 kids. And killing it. And people saying, well, right now I'm working through a couple of situations in there, so, the dog. It's What? I'm completely aware that you have situations. And what I know is Jake and Ray have 10 times more situations than they just told you. And I am keenly aware of stuff that Sarah Seifert is dealing with in her life, but not taking it on as an excuse. Because when you want to get there, you want to get there. You'll scratch, you'll claw, you don't care. You just do whatever it takes. I have said this often. People say, would you do it all again? I go, you have no idea. Like, I would die. Like, I almost did several times and if I had I'd been like, well, that's the way it works. Sometimes you die, sometimes you don't. And I didn't die. But it could happen next week because I am after it. I'm not in it to lose. I'm not in it to keep from losing it. I'm in it to win it, and I know you guys are. And I want to introduce the whole country to another winner, because when I met Joshua the first time, I was like, this guy, I know he's got what it takes. And he come out of the gates kicking butt, taking names, and he's doing a lot of great things. So Joshua, would you introduce yourself and tell you a little bit who you are, where you come from?
Yeah, for sure. Super honored and privileged to be on this call with you guys. Especially Jake. Love you, man. Jake's a great guy. I'm sure Sarah's awesome too. And Veray, I need to meet you both. And I want to give a big shout out real quick to Jerry Burbage. I think he hit Executive Vice President. Burbage is my man. And
woohoo! EVP.
My second dad. Love you, Jerry. But I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and got started with the Alliance really, again, full-time in January, and just hit the ground running and trying to do everything that people tell me to do, and just make a big giant mess as quickly as possible and clean it up as I go, which is exactly what's been happening. And now trying to find some sharp people to bring onto the team and build out with them, and build out with creative minds, and just do what has been done before me.
So I know you joined us and didn't do anything at all, but then was January you started, you said, all right, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, so Jerry I can't speak enough about just the people of the Alliance. Like, Jerry kept in touch with me for a year and a half, just checked in on me while I was out working a job. And what
kind of job was you doing?
I was a sales manager at a company in California.
What were you selling?
Like tax resolution, debt resolution, really boring finance stuff. And Jerry just kept in touch with me the whole time. Just such a genuine spirit, and that's what made me feel comfortable. Because when I came back,
how much were they renting you for? I mean, paying you. How much they paying you?
I made about a 140 last year.
Okay. So he was saying, seriously, that's your plan? Is 140?
Yeah, it just wasn't. I was just so unfulfilled, so unhappy. I'd rather make half that and be creating something that's my own with other people, and just the family vibes here. Oh man,
I'd rather you make 5 times that amount and be happy. For sure. How's it looking? How's the revenue looking now coming in?
It's super cool to see it just increase month by month on the ARC. I love the ARC. Like, I have a personal competition with what the ARC tells me I'm going to make, and what I'm like, no, I'm going to make more than that. But the last call I was on with you guys, I think it said 140 or something, and now it's at 200. And just trying to keep the pressure on and keep it going. I'm like, I'm going to do more than that. But I mean, so in the first year, if I can 30%, 40% increase what I was doing before at a job, it's incredible. So things are looking bright.
Yeah. Right. So the ARC's predicting you'll make 200,000. You're thinking, I got 6 more months to get ahead of the average.
Yeah, I want to hit 300. I'm going for 300.
Yeah, you got 6 more months to get to the head of the edge. So even just if November and December beats the average.
Right. Right.
Well, congratulations. I know you've heard the story. There's been so many people that, Andy Riddle was making 200-some thousand when he joined the company. That's 30 years ago or 25 years ago. And first year, he only made like 160,000. But so he made less, but he was 10 times happier. But then the second year, I think his was over 300,000. I don't try to take his story, but with so many stories like that. Now, here's another thing. People find the poorest people and tell me that they desire it. and they want it, and they'll do anything. And my first question to them is like, why didn't you do that where you were? Well, I was only making $15 an hour. I was only making $12 an hour. You know, first, if you can understand what they're saying, I'm not sure if y'all can understand. I was only making 12. Well, how many hours did you work? Well, how many did they give me? You start going like, oh my God. So finding people that are already doing something. And by the way, when they're 22, your judgment factor has got to be different if they're 42. Because they've had 20 years to figure something out after college. Or if it didn't go to college, 24 years they've had time to figure it out. No offense to the unsuccessful. No offense. Anybody can do it. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they didn't watch television. Maybe they didn't watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Maybe they didn't watch Magnum PI with his red Ferrari. And it just, I don't know. So I'm not writing them off, but I'm telling you, we're talking about recruiting today and building a massive dynasty. If you find somebody who's done something and doing something and put a little more energy and money into them as opposed to the gum moving, lip smacking, full of dookie person that says, I'll do anything. It's going to work easier for you. The analogy, if I'm a basketball coach, I'm 5'11" and a half, might even be 3/4 on a good day. And I jump by that. Well, I can't jump as much as I could jump that high. That's not going to cut it. I'm going to find people faster, taller, better basketball IQ. They can dribble, they can shoot, they can hit layups, they can play defense. You need people that can play basketball. It's going to work better. So many people complain. I had a guy just now, he's frustrated. He's been with us a couple years. I got traction, people ain't getting going. Well, the people he gets, they talky, but they don't worky. So it's his recruiting style is costing him by getting the wrong people. What is his style? It's the wrong style. How do you know? He's getting little bitty short people to play basketball, little stubby little arms, stubby little legs, and I don't even know if they're smart because I don't care about IQ. You walk in there, you're about 4 foot flat, 4 foot nothing. I don't care how smart they are. But you just got to meet them. That's like when they say they got the greatest personality. Give a shit about personality. We're going to play some basketball. I don't even care if he can talk good. We're going to play basketball. You track it? This is not college. NBA, we don't care. College, you got to talk a little bit. Well, maybe not for some universities. You don't have to have good grades. You just go. Okay. All right. Reeves. Is it Reeves? Is that the way you say it? Or is it Reeves or something like that?
Reeves works. Reeves is good.
Reeves. Is that like Superman Reeves? Is that a different thing?
Yeah, that's the same guy. Unfortunately not related, but same thing.
Well, congratulations on all y'all's success. We're going to talk about I really want to talk to y'all three because I know y'all I feel like I can pour this into you and I'm not wasting my time. We have an incredible opportunity of systems, coaching, education, teaching. We've got an incredible peer pressure program. Y'all know what the most powerful P is as far as directing people and getting them to do something. A lot of people think it's one thing, but it's not. It's peer pressure. That gets people moving. The other stuff, different things can get people money. Money can get people moving, and there's other things but more than money and the other is peer pressure. People just lose it. It's kind of around here. You're sitting here talking to Reeves. Is he going to make $200,000? You'd be like, that's good enough. But he's sitting here talking to this young couple that's going to make $600,000, and $400,000 comes from somebody else's efforts, a percentage, an override. That's crazy talk. So if you guys go out of commission, you're still in the $400,000 range. I ain't saying you're rich, but you can still eat. I was thinking back to Josh, to these other guys with their situations, and you have no kids. We've talked about not getting a dog, right? You don't have a dog?
A lady in my life has a dog.
You do have a dog?
I don't claim it.
Huh?
I don't claim the dog. I have a cat. There's very little responsibility in my life other than making money. We'll just say that.
What?
There's very little responsibility in my life other than to make money and build something. We'll say that.
You know, I was thinking if you lived at home with your parents and had no house payment and didn't have to mow the yard and she did your laundry for you, that would be even better. Is that the case?
I wouldn't move back home. I'd rather do my own laundry, but you know.
Okay, I thought maybe if you did, that would be great.
Okay.
I still don't understand, do you have a dog or not?
It's technically kind of. It's 50-50.
Should you be using the word complicated? Is complicated? Is that what I'm looking for?
I think you got it. I think you hit it.
God, it involves a woman. Involves a female. Okay. So, no excuses, plenty of excuses. People say like, well, I thought you said Sarah don't have excuses. She's got plenty of excuses. It's plenty of reasons not to do it now. Wait until the kids get in school. Wait until your husband gets a partner. Wait until everybody in the family's health is perfect. Wait, put off, delay, procrastinate, tomorrow, mañana, Everybody's got excuses. The question is whether you use your excuses. Everybody has reasons. The question is, how do you use your reasons? I always felt like my children were a reason to not make excuses. A reason. I never felt like my kids were an excuse. And here's another thing. What do children need most? Opportunity and example. Opportunity and example. And I see so many selfish parents that they blame their position or lack of work ethic on the children. They explain, the reason I don't go out is because of my children. I go, all right, see how that works out. I hope your kids become brain surgeons and, and build bridges and skyscrapers, and they're engineers, and they'll just, they're just great people. But if they're not great people and they won't leave home, they'll probably have a reason. Like you had a reason not to build something, they'll have a reason not to build something. My deal was setting that example for the kids. Now, here's what I want to tell you, Jake and Sarah, all of you. When you're bringing a person on, when you're saying things to them, these are the things you say to them. Don't say things like, this is wrong, okay? I hate to even say the wrong version. Don't say things like, we'll do it all for you. It's easy. We'll fit it into your lifestyle. You see how I am drawing the line going like, we've got a great opportunity on this side of the line. However, I'm aware that you got drug habits, alcohol habits, girl habits, man habits, daddy habits, dog habits, rabbit habits, kitty habits. You got habits and problems and situations and healths. I get it. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out a way to come over here and kill it. Now, if you don't want to be like that, I get it. If you wait until toothpaste gets out of the tube, you can't get it back in. But if you start talking to them before you hear all the whining stuff, then when they say it, it's like people say, well, people don't complain to you, Andy. They complain to me. I know, exactly. Somehow you're getting the stupidity out of them, and somehow I'm getting the productivity out of them. We're both getters. You're just getting stupid. I'm getting productivity. You got to learn how to get, and the way you get is you draw a line and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. So during the opportunity meetings, y'all saw me do the opportunity. You've seen people do the opportunity meeting. It's just show it out. Oh, it's so much fun. It's like, you just talk to people and they write a check, and it's just, oh, it's so fun. Your heart just, right? I do talk about being wealthy, and I talk about sideline passes, sideline seats, owning suites, throwing the first baseball pitch out, all kinds of stuff, going to NBA games, MLB games, hunting all over the world. Yeah, I also talk about, because some people do and some people don't, as opposed to the middle. It's so much fun, and God is good, we're going to help you. You see what I'm saying? This difference between here and there is drawing a line. I'm stretching them between the goal of setting the example for the kids and the grandkids. I was texting Spencer. He's watching. I was texting him about 4th of July, and I was like, do you think Crawford is going to make it down to the 4th of July? He's 12 or 13 days off. Somebody look at a calendar. He was born on the 20th. So how many days does that make him old? And I said, is he going to be able to make it down? And Spencer's like, I don't know. We got a doctor, blah, 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 the doctors. And I was like, well, keep him healthy, because I'm ready to take the boy hunting. You with me? I know he's young, but we need a game plan for this. I got to still be able to walk, and he's got to get old enough that his mama, because we got to get him early. We'll probably get him a squirt gun or something this week. You know what I mean? Just something, to get his mind going right? Just lay it in his crib, But we're not talking about, I just want to see him so I can squeeze him. I could just squeeze him. Like, y'all know you arrest you for that, right? Reeves, you've been talking to people.
Yeah.
All right. So 10 is you talk about the crazy dream and the crazy work ethic and how people are lazy and won't work, and think about, but this is achievable for anybody, no discrimination. You can be white, black, green, purple, polka dot. You can be short, tall, don't make a darn. You can be a Christian, non-Christian. You can be from Utah, or you can be from Yosemite. We don't really care. So this is great on this side, but on this side, this is a factor. So one, you tell people you're going to do it all for them, and all they got to do is sign the paper. Matter of fact, they don't even have to sign the paper. They just hold the paper still, and you move the paper for them. And then you buy their leads, you pay for their convention. So that's a 0. A 10 is you express the difference between the goal and the dream and the work ethic. So that's what you got to get your minds. How good are you at proposing, axing them? Do they understand the difference? You with me? Axing them. Where would you rank yourself now on 1 to 10? 10 being you're really good at discerning the difference and challenging them.
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, growing. This is
all
actually
right.
blowing my mind right now. I've got a couple of people that.
Let me give you a recommendation. Okay. Get ROBB. Write this down. ROBB. The Rob Report. Subscribe to it. Okay. It's a magazine I've been subscribing to for 33 years. It's just set up for stupid rich people. It's so fun. I don't know if you can subscribe to this, but like this one, for me, the Safari magazine, I mean, it was here when I left. I was just flip. And I was like, oh, just 72 dreams popped right up at me. Another good one, and these are not for everybody, but Cowboys and Indians magazine is phenomenal. If you like that sort of stuff, the clothes, the jewelry, the boots, the land, the land for four-wheeling for y'all, for Jake and Beret, subscribe to those magazines and build that dream and start thinking about it. Because see, here's what happens, Joshua, or everybody, your parents, everybody tries to get you to drop your expectations because they love you so much. They don't want you hurt. The hurt is the fun. I know that sounds so crazy. I get to crying. When I get thinking about how much it hurt building it. But then I look at what I got. So the hurt versus the got. So Joshua, you got to practice saying these things so that you can get into 7, 8, better if you can get in a 9.2 or 9.7. Just really good at talking about the dream versus the work.
Yes,
now, not everybody's going to be attracted, because some people's brainwashing by their parents and aunts and uncles has stuck so good. It's stuck so good. They don't believe that it's real. And if you don't believe it's real, then you won't work no matter what. You won't risk your death. You won't spend your last dollar. You won't go $100,000 in debt on your credit cards. You won't go $200,000 in debt on your credit card. But when you believe it's going to happen, I heard, I was listening to a little bit of Trump talking this morning. He's saying when he was $900 million in debt, and he was walking with, not Melania, but she was good looking. He was walking with a girl, this is years ago, and he says to her, when they see a homeless person, he said, that guy right there is worth $900 million more than me. And she was like, how's that possible? He said, if he's worth zero, he's $900 million more than me. But he believed that it would turn around. So if you believe, you just, what's $900 million? What's another $1 million? What's credit card? But people say that, I can't come to family reunion because. Because is a magical word if there's a success on the other side. But because is an excuse if there's a failure on the other side. You need to come to family reunion because, and you list 32 reasons. I can't come to family reunion because, and then you list 10 reasons. I usually tell people, just pick one reason. I don't need 10 reasons why you're not coming. Just give me one. Well, my mama's sick, my dog's tired, I ain't got no money, I got debt, I just lost my job. My cousin got an insurance and she didn't make it. Like, dude, have you seen your cousin lately? There's a lot of things she's failing at. It ain't just insurance. This is a long list of failures in your cousin. And you're going to list her as a resume. God almighty. You bringing her up makes me question you. But you see the difference, and you say, what if people get mad at you if you say something like this? If they get mad at you when you're saying something like this, Joshua, they're wrong. They're not your people. If they go, yeah, it makes sense. And then if they hit you with, yeah, but, then that's when you back off. As soon as they start billy goating you with the buts, I had goats for when I was a little kid. That's one of the first way I thought I was going to get rich. I started doing the math. There's a lot of goat dookie. They butt you. If they hit you with but, back off. Either you didn't sell it hard and they butted you. So like if you're talking to somebody about insurance and you go, all right, let's get your social security number. Let's get your draft, your checking account number. And they go, but. Then you didn't sell insurance good enough. And now the toothpaste is out of the tube, and now you got to explain why they can't afford it. Explain why they really need it. But if you do a good job before you say, can I get your social security number? And they go, yeah, that's a 24115, and they just start calling it out. Then you get a good job selling it. It's either you or it's them. Either you didn't do a good job pitching it, or they are not pitchable. They just not going to buy insurance. So the same thing when it comes to getting started and build something. So when you're pitching insurance, you look around and you see the trailer, you see the house, you see the shoes, you see the belts, you look at the liquor on the cabinet or lack thereof, you look at the television and it's little. So you start mathematically doing the math on what they can afford in insurance. You're not going to sell them too much, like a $2,000 a month IUL. They're going to hate you. All right, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm trying to relate selling insurance to recruiting. If you think that they have a small dream, you've got to sell a small dream. If you sell too big of a dream to too small of a person, they're going to not get into business. But if you have a person that can afford a $5,000 a month IUL and you show them a $200 a month final expense, you screwed up. This is critical, Jake and Beret, is who you're pitching to insurance. You walk into a house, 4,500 square foot house, couple Mercedes out front, and you start pitching final expense. So the same thing when you're pitching the business. So you're sitting on the front row, opportunity meeting. By the way, Gina Hawks and Alex Abian and some other people are going to be in Atlanta tonight doing an opportunity meeting. If they pitch too small of a dream to a person that could kill it, it's a problem. If they pick too big of a dream to the person that can't do it. So that's why when I'm doing the opportunity meeting, you've got to watch the chameleon. You've got to watch the spread that I have, that I can talk to the homeless and I can talk to the people making $400,000 at the same time. And the way that works is your number one goal when you start talking to your recruit, your new person, potential person, if it's in a group setting or it's in an individual setting, we must determine where they are. Can I get an agreement? Jake, all three of these, Jake and Beret and Joshua and Sarah are the best salespeople in the world. Am I correct?
Yeah.
That if I'm selling life insurance, the first thing we got to do is figure out what policies they already own?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was sitting down with a buddy of mine, and we're going to get him signed up today. And I should have done a better job of getting to know where he was at first, because I showed him our paycheck last month. It was like 62,000. And he's like, "That's for the year?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "That's for your team? Like everyone?" I was like, "No." I said, that's what my wife and I made last month. And he didn't comprehend. He was like, "If I could just make 3,000 or 4,000. I was like, "Okay, I had to come back." So it's everything. It's everything.
The first thing you do, Jake, is find out your audience. You're just like, and you can't sound like the KGB interrogation technique, right, Stephanie? Would you reload me? You can't. Thank you. You can't sound. So you're just ask things like, "Huh? So what's your degree?" And if they say Southwestern Eastern Kentucky, I'm sure you've heard of it. I go, yes, no. But it sounds like a great university. If they say UCLA, it's a whole different game. Because a lot of these universities, they're so smart, they help you graduate. They help you learn the stuff. And you're smarter when you graduate. On the other hand, UCLA don't give a crap if you make it. So if a person gets out of a school that don't care about you, a lot of times they're more successful than the person that gets out of a school that they do care about you. So weird. So I'm just listening to them talk, thinking. Here's a good. And so when you see me doing opportunity meetings, I come in there, ho hum. I was just listening to a Audible this morning about getting people in the right mood, get them in a feeling. It's one of those books I don't tell nobody about. But it's about getting everybody in the right mood, get the feeling, creating the feeling. So watch when I walk in, when I'm like, huh. So who's here at a brand new time? Who's here, never written a policy before? Who's in class? Who's making money? And what I'm disguising is, all I really care about is the people that are brand new and it's my first shot at them, or they're just getting started. So I'm trying to figure out, and I'm looking at clothes. I'm looking at their facial movement, sad. And if I say something funny, but it's subtle and they don't get it, then I'm going like, not too smart, not too worldly, not too ambitious. So listen to me. We're the most non-judgmental company there is. We could care less who you are, where you come from, Yale or jail. We don't give a damn. You get rich with us. On the other hand, I have a discriminatory prediction factor. And that is the better people do better. So I am so judging who I'm dealing with by their history. Everybody wants to be judged on what they're going to do. Nobody wants to be judged on what they done did. I'm looking for what you done did. So are y'all like building, just like getting a check for $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $62 a month? It takes skill. Getting a person started, this is what I'm trying to communicate with you. And what's interesting is this is so critical to the international market or the new American movement. Our Hispanic world. I'm thinking, any of y'all speak a different language? I'm thinking no. Who? Do y'all speak another language?
I can speak Spanish.
Fluent?
Mediocrely. Give me a few drinks and I'm fluent.
Same. I was just in Scotland. I was insanely fluent in Spanish. I was just lighting them up in Spanish. Every word was correct. And drinking. Okay. Hispanic world, Mandarin world, and this Chinese, Taiwan, if they can get this, because if the person come over here and has already got 3 degrees, they were making equivalent to 100 grand in China, or 250,000 in China, or $250,000 in Nigeria, and they've got the degrees and they've got the pedigree, their mom and daddy was making money, granddaddy making money. It's a whole different game. If you go in and soft sell them, you're going to get a soft response. But you give a hard sell, these people could come out of the gates writing $40,000, $50,000 a month. So determining your audience is the most critical thing you do. When there's people speaking at our family reunion, I'm going, all right, first of all, let's establish who you're talking to. And then I tell them things like, I remember Jeff Bright, he'd get up there and start talking. I was like, Jeff, tell them who you are. And he said, everybody knows who I am. I was like, Jeff, let me give you an example. Come here. Who is this guy? I don't know. It's Jeff Bright. Tell me something else about him. Nothing. I have no idea. He's vice president of Alamance Community College. He's like, all right, what's Alamance Community College? I said, that's a great question, Jeff. They don't know who you are. But it's understanding, now he gets it. So now he does a good job of setting himself up. So understanding that audience. If you're brand new at family reunion, let me tell you, 50% of the people are brand new. What? I didn't know. I know, exactly. If you don't know your audience. So when you're talking to your person, somebody texts you, how do you get to your house? You just need to take a left from where you are and then go 5 miles straight. You remember where that church used to be? Take a right there. No. The first question is, where the hell are you? Where are you? I don't know. I see trees and there's a building over here. Okay, get to a corner. Like, where does that road end? The name of the building, the name of the restaurant, the name of the hotel. I need something. I need some facts and figures. And don't hit me with you know. You know, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. No, I don't know. Where are you? And then at least I can get a map and look that place up. And from there, I can tell you how to get here. I could say, you're 2 minutes away. Or I could say, bro, you're 4.5 hours away. So understanding the audience, where are they, is critical in the beginning. Where are you and where you want to go? So Kenneth, get it? So if I'm recruiting you, Jerry is recruiting you. So the question from Jerry is, does he know what you've done, what your past is? Does he know your salary in the past? Does he know your tips? And and you learn how to do this. You say things to people like this, like what? I'm not going to get him up here. I might. Nathan, what was I going to ask you? Yeah, what kind of work? What's your background? What kind of job?
Communication.
Do that mic up closer, like you're an actor and a musician stuff. You were what? Communications.
Yes.
So you just talk for a living? Yeah. Tell me what you did.
Communication technician. So I set up firewalls, set up switches, Wi-Fi, sort of stuff.
All right. So learn how to say this. Here's the way it goes. Let's say I want to get in that field and I have no degree. Do I need a degree to get in that?
No.
So I got no degree, but I got a big heart and I really, really want to do it and I can work really hard at it. Let's say I get in it and I'm there 50, 60 hours busting my butt. What kind of money could I look to make if I killed it in your world for 2 years? I'm not asking him how much he makes. I'm just saying how much could I make if I got in that field and I worked hard for 2 years? What if I was the owner's son? What if I sucked up? What if I did everything right? What do you think? What kind of make it in that field?
120 to 150,000.
So he says 120 to 150. So you can guess. Does he make 60? Does he make 190? But you know he don't make 42,000. You tracking with me? And then you can say, what if I got promoted? How many people report to you? How long have you been in it? How much training does it take? So you're just getting a feel for it. And kids and a wife, does your wife work? Here's a good one that most people don't ask. I don't know why they don't ask. How are they healthy? And if they say, yeah, they're very healthy, one of them will never live outside the home because they've got issues. They were born with this challenge or that challenge. Now you know. Are they healthy? Oh, my kids are super healthy. Crazy as hell, but healthy. Good. Now we don't have to deal with that because we got that. We got to deal with that. People are like, what do you mean? We got to deal with that. I mean, we got to deal with it. I mean, are you the only person? Is your mom help? Does somebody else come in? What's the deal, Sherlock? So it's a really nice way of figuring out where people are. And you can't do but so much. If you got a room of 100 people and 22 brand new people, you're fishing around, you're looking, and you're doing a survey. It also gets people, it's another way to get the audience under control. Y'all know, y'all been in meetings where people are whispering and talking, and then another person comes in, does a meeting, complete silence, complete respect. And they go, oh, it's because you're this and because you're that. It's because of skill. Okay. All right. Sarah, figuring out where they are, spread, dream versus you actually do work. Talk to me. I just want to hear what you're thinking. Because if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it too. Nathan's thinking it and Paycheck's thinking it.
No, I think, this is gold for sure. I think, thank you for teaching on this. I'm super grateful for that. For those that say they're not good at recruiting, like recruiting is selling. It's no different. I have Jake talks about the toothpaste, right? It's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube when it's already come out, right? So it's like, I don't know, overcoming objections before they happen. It's just like selling. It's no different. It's so much harder in the home to overcome an objection before it happens. So just like, we talk about events.
Whoa. You just said that wrong, or people didn't understand it. Say about the objection before it happens.
So it's a lot harder to overcome an objection if you don't bring it up before it happens.
Preemptive strike.
Correct.
If you walk up to person real nice, hands down, got this on, behind your back, and you just walk up to them, they're real nice, and you get that first lick right up under the jaw, is a whole lot easier than if you come walking up to them like this right here. And next thing you know, they reach in their glove compartment and find a gun. Huh? Keep going. You're killing it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like when you hear, just because we're talking about selling, recruiting, we're just kind of talking about both of them. It's like the first thing that comes to my mind, you get these people that are top producers. And I'm like, you're a top producer because you're good at setting the stage. So you would kill it at recruiting if you just fished. But you're not allowing yourself time to recruit because you're just selling. So it's interesting when you see these top producers. I'm like, man, like it's amazing, right? The money's amazing. Like it's that instant, like me and Ray talk about, it's like that instant hit, right? Especially in insurance, you can make that check quick, right? But it's like, if we can just get people to dream bigger and see the vision of, if you're good at sales, you can get really good at doing recruiting. It's no different. So like, we talk about events, right? Like one thing, when I talk about events to my team, like I do the soft preemptive sell. Like I say, hey, pull out your calendar. What you got going on July 18th? I don't even talk about the event. What you got going on that weekend? They pull it out and they say, well, nothing now. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just I'm super busy right now. But what I need you to do right now is I need you to block out these dates. Okay. So when we wrap back around together, I'm going to talk about these dates, but just make sure you have those dates blocked out. So like you talk about like setting the table, setting the stage, right? Selling is no different than recruiting. And I think you nailed it. It's like, if you don't know what their vision is, if you don't know that by asking the questions, like, what are we dealing with? We're not trying to be mean. What are we dealing with?
All right.
So
we'll keep working with you here, Sarah. Joshua, I am going to take phone calls when I'm in the middle of doing something fun. You with me? I'll be eating dinner. Your phone comes in. I hit you with, what's up? And you hit me back, important, urgent, call me. I'm going to do it. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Like I'm going to do it.
Okay.
But let me tell you what the truck drivers say. Cash, grass, or bunkie. That's what the truck drivers say. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Nobody's getting up in this transfer truck for free, baby. The marriage you want or something. You with me?
Yes, sir.
So when I say I'm going to take that phone call, I'm going to tell you what the price is. I need you kicking ass and taking names, trying to build a business. Trying to build a business. So if you hadn't listened to Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, read it or listen to it. It's easier. Read it, listen to it. Have you heard it, Joshua?
I've got it. I ordered the whole box. I got them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the game. I'm talking about the book, Cash Flow Quadrant. I'm right about that name of that book, right?
Yep.
There's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yep.
And then his other book is Cash Flow.
Yep.
Cash Flow Quadrant? Yes? Okay. All right. So that talks about the difference by having a great sales job or a great manufacturing job versus a business. And then there's investments. So he covers the different categories. So my investment in you is my inconvenience, my knowledge, my expertise, and I'll put some money in. But here's what I need to do. I need for you to mark these on your calendar. Pull your calendar up. And what Sarah just did is brilliant. It's so brilliant and so simple, and everybody knows to do it, right? No. Everybody don't need to. They start selling the family reunion before they look at their calendar. I have had people have a cruise schedule for the week, and I show them that, and they go, no problem, I can change this cruise to another week. And I go like, I like that about you. I've had people cancel trips when I show them these dates. So I've got these dates. Let's just go ahead and mark them. There's our first one coming up, family reunion, is July 17th through 20th. If you can't get here till the 18th, that'll work too. Really be, if you get here 19th, that'll work too. Our boot camp is October 17th to 19th. Let's get that marked. And then our convention in January, and then our 6 stage to success. So I don't know if I'm going to stay in it for a year. Well, let me explain something to you. Then I'm going to be less likely to pick up the phone. We're going to have to text. I might even delegate you to somebody else. Because if you're not that committed, I'm not the committed. I want to help, okay? Like, I appreciate your situation with your kids and your mom and that husband of yours. I see the problem. But I can't, I'm not an idiot. The Bible said don't cast your pearls in front of hogs. And I'm just telling you, I want to help. I really do. So the more you can preach to people, here we go. That's much help, but I ain't going to do it. I'm going to help if you're going to do it. If you can get over here with me with this kind of dream, then I can do more. That's brilliant, Sarah. People don't, and people don't plug into training. They don't know to do this, and then they start out wrong. And how about this one? It's going to be a lot of meat. We don't do these hype conventions. We do all meat, all training. It's boring as hell. You're going to love it. Except for the parties. We're big on the parties, and we have a great time, great association, music blasting, and it's really a lot of hype. And it's funny because people go, you just said that there's no hype, it's only meat, and then you said there's a lot of hype. Yes, because it's called a buffet. But if you sell it as a buffet, I'll tell you this, a buffet, I'm going right to what I want first. I'm skipping the cheap stuff, I'm going to the money items. But the money items for some people is a salad. For some people it's dessert. For some people it's a steak. So you're throwing a buffet out there and you're committed to each item and letting them pick. But if you tell them all about the meat and they want the fun, if you tell them all about the fun, they want the meat, you done messed up. There's another great book for recruiting. It's called Questioning Your Way to Sales Success. I mark it out, and I take a big permanent marker, and I change it to recruiting. Questioning your way to recruiting success. The better questions you ask, the more likely you are to get in and start selling quick, get through class quicker. One of my favorite questions to ask, and I'll ask Nathan, Nathan, do you feel like the company's done you good and give you a chance for promotions and moving up?
I was self-employed.
You're self-employed. So he's self-employed, I just start thinking there's 32 questions I'm going to ask. I'm really good at the questioning game because of practice. So you're self-employed. How many people do you employ? How many people do you have on your team?
At this time, none.
So you are him. You are the guy. And so if it's an emergency situation and you're not available, nothing's going to happen. Emergency phone call, hey, we'll pay 10 times as much, but you're in the middle of having a baby or wherever. You can't do it. You don't get the 10, right? There's no delegation authority. And so do you feel like, so then here's the question. Do you feel like it's the industry that's limited your business, or do you think you limit your business? Which one do you feel? I limited it. You limit your business. And so I'm not going to do it right here with him in public, but I would say things. So what sort of things do you wish you had done? And what held you back from doing it? Health concerns, wife concerns, mama concerns, divorce concerns, got married concerns. Sophia, you know what kind of marriage problems people have? Marriage problems. Single people have you're dating people problems. People dating have dating people problems. Married people have dog people have dog problems. Cat people, cat problems. Cats are crazy. No cat person is going to say, no, my cat. Facts. Cat people, facts. Cat people got cat problem. So when you're talking to a person, he says I'm the problem. That's a good sign. What kind of things do you wish you'd have done differently the last 5 years? Do you wish you'd done differently? And if he says, I wish I hadn't married her. Woo! I wish I hadn't divorced her. Woo! I wish I hadn't done this. Well, all that's fine and dandy, but as far as the things we can control, the things we could have controlled, what are the things? So then he starts listing them, and I go, all right, if me and you work together, and I pick up the phone, I return a phone call, I travel, I help you, can we agree that those things we're going to do different here? You see how I'm drawing the line, Reeves?
Yes, sir.
If you don't see the line, you don't know to step over it. If you don't know the rules, you don't know how to get up next to the rules. If you don't know where the gray is, you don't know how to get in the gray. If you don't know, one of my rules is, my accountants and my attorneys is, I don't want to go to jail. So you're not supposed to do that. I go, it'll make me go to jail. They go, no, you got to not go to jail. I said, then what's the fine? What's the price? What do I have to pay? What's the inconvenience? All right, but understanding, asking people where they are is critical. Now, 2, 3, no. I'm going with 8 years ago. I don't know how long ago, but I was at SCI in Dallas. It's Safari Convention. And I'm walking around in the, Remington. Some rifle. I'm not sure if it's Remington. And they had these insane guns. And this guy was a world champion Olympic rifle shooter named Dakota. And I bought 2 insane guns, cash, right on the spot. Took them home with me. And we became acquaintances. Tried to recruit him, but I faded away. It's been 10 years. I've been faded away, but he still knows who I am. He follows me. He watches me on social media. But here's what I failed to do. I failed to tell him how much I want him in this business. So I'm going to make sure, once again, I need you, Sarah, to tell Pablo one more time how much I want him in this business. If Pablo gets in the insurance business with somebody else, I'm going to hurt myself. He needs to get in business with us. So I got a text by Dakota this week with a picture of his license certificate. And he said, looks like I'm getting in your game. And I was like, please God tell me Ryan Chang hired him. Please God tell me that Patrick called him. Please God tell me that Jake and Veray hired him. And I was like, I didn't even want to ask. I just looked at that and went, damn it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And so I just messed around and I said, all right, hey man, congratulations. That certificate's incredible. Who got you involved in this world? And he told me, and it wasn't one of y'all. And I was like, So now the toothpaste is out, right? And he's so happy and excited. You can't go, these are the dumbest people in the world. I can't believe you're getting involved with them. I mean, you can do that, but that's not the route I chose. I said, but my point is, I'm trying to get it back in the tube at this point. So I said, man, I'm so happy for you. You're going to learn so much. These guys are going to learn you so much. This is crazy talk. I'm proud of you. Hit it hard for a year. And then we'll talk. But you can believe it's going to be an every month thing. How's it going, Bo? Have I screwed you yet? Are you learning a lot? Are you making a lot of money? Oh, you made your first check. Have you made your first check with a comma in it? I'm going to be his biggest cheerleader to do good over there. Just like when my son-in-law got a great job coming out of school and he's getting promoted up. He was my son-in-law to be when he first graduated, but he got a great job. I was cheering him up, big salary, they promoting him, and I'm getting him on the side, getting him trained. Because I know how that company's going to treat him. And where Dakota is, I'm telling you, I know. He's going to hit a ceiling like you ain't never hit a ceiling before. I know their program. But I just hate I didn't do a good job of pushing the needle and make sure he would have called me if anybody ever contacted him. Okay, I'm setting y'all up. How good are you at setting people up, Jake, before we text dial? Before we ask them, have they told their mama, their sister, their cousin, their best friend? Or do we just jump right into something dumb like, you want to build a team? Who the hell wants to build a team? People are headaches. They're a problem. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they lie, they backstab. It's terrible. Nobody wants to build a team. I don't want to build a team. I want to win the lottery. That's what I want. But if I talk about, this is a true story about Dakota, and I mean, it's Mike and Noel Leventovich got in the industry, friends with him, tight, sees a leaderboard and their name is on it. And he calls them and says, there can't be but one Winoka in the country. That's Noel's first name. It's different than Noel. It's like it might be Winona, but it looks like Winoka to me. But he said there can't be another one in the country. And he goes, yep, it's Noel. She's killing it. He's like, oh my God. And you think about how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if he'd have just talked to them. You see how I'm setting them up? I'm setting them up to say. So here's the thing. In our business, the way it works, you bring them in, you get a percentage, they push you up and help you get promoted. And you get this warm, fuzzy feeling of making a difference in people's lives. And I don't want your brother to get in business with somebody else. Or your mother, or your uncle. And then people are like, I thought you wanted to recruit 27-year-old. He's 27. His mom's 59 years old or 54 years old. I thought you didn't want them. I want everybody. Because now you, the 27-year-old, is trying to recruit 27-year-olds, and the mama, who's 56, is recruiting 27. Now I got two people recruiting 27 years old. Yeah, but you got her and she wouldn't. You don't understand my teachings very good. Everyone's welcome. Beret brings in Amanda, her mama. You ought to see her team. All way younger than her, way younger than me, building the snot out of the business. But if she's not in the business, she can't bring them into the business. You see how the setup is? Understanding your audience. And then the setup story before we pitch. What's your favorite setup story of you better buy now? So selling. In selling insurance, you create urgency by the setup. What's your favorite setup story? Who's got the favorite setup story? Sarah? Beret? What do you talk about in sales?
I use my own. I was diagnosed with heart disease at 12. And I explained to people, I said, when I got into this industry and I understood how important this was, and an insurance company told me no, like a decline, they told me no, I wanted it 10 times as bad. And I talk about, when they're in good health, like you have no idea how good you have it right now.
And the only way we can find out if you qualify is we do what?
Got to send through an application. We got to let them think about you before you thinking about them.
That's all we got to do. We just got to get them thinking about it first, right? So we set them up with that health issue. We don't know how your health is until we submit it. That's when I found out what their opinion was. What's your setup, Sarah?
I used my own story. Lost my parents very young, and my dad lost the love of his life, raised 3 kids alone, successful attorney, didn't have time to do it, but he did it. And didn't think about it, right? Started paying on my mom's to be buried right next to mama. And still grieving the love of his life, focusing on those kiddos. When we lost him tragically, we thought, oof, he's got that plot right next to mama he was paying on. And we went down to the Catholic cemetery, and we're like, Mr. Montes, he didn't make his last couple payments. So right next to my mama is Mr. Rice. He is not our blood. And I can't help but sit there and lay there with my children, looking at their art throughout the year and thinking, why? But he was grieving the love of his life. He didn't know he was going to pass yesterday. And he didn't make that last payment. So we're going to make sure that...
How many times you told that story?
A lot.
Hundreds?
A lot. It's evolved for sure. It was hard to tell when I first started. Me and Bray and Jacob had this conversation. Wasn't easy when we first started, but it's definitely evolved. Now I got Pablo's story. Never thought Pablo was going to be in that situation. If we were to apply for a term, he wouldn't get approved. So the story's evolved, Andy.
And Pablo had this much insurance when his life was threatened, right?
That's correct.
And we were wishing he'd had how much? This much. I like the story. What's your dad's last name?
Montes.
Yeah, so Mr. Montes is not buried besides Ms. Montes. Mr. Rice is.
That's correct.
I like that story. It's got drama. It's got humor. It's got tears. It's permanent. It's emotional. That audio is just listened to. It said, don't use tears often, but use tears. And your dad was an attorney, so bigger wealthier families, you could leave out that he was an attorney part if you're with poorer people. My dad, who was a hardworking man, scratching out a living, right? And then you're with another wealthier family, you bring up what kind of attorney he was. I'd say that people question me for saying stuff like this, but you need to use those tears when it's a big check.
If you don't have your own story, I will tell you this for new people. If you don't have your own story, borrow a story. It doesn't have to be your story.
It's like Mike and Noel's story and that guy. Okay. You hear me though? When you're getting them to start text dialing, talk to everybody they know, we set them up with a story. We don't ask them, get the toothpaste out, get the water under the bridge, get the milk done spilt. We got to set them up. So learning how to do the setup for selling, learning for the setup for building a business. Because now here's another thing. When I'm hiring a person, Jake, I'm not trying to get them to build a massive business. I'm trying to go from one potential person to 2 potential people. Because if you're talking to this person and they hire one person, you got twice as good a chance of having success. They hire 3 people, 400% better chance of somebody being successful. I'm not trying, by the way, when I'm doing a life insurance policy, Sarah, I'm not trying to do estate planning, trust funds, investments, retirement. I'm trying to get that first check. I get that first check. We get ready to recruit them. We getting ready to do trust. We getting to estate planning. We're going to get their mama, their grandmama, everybody they know and love going to get life insurance. But we don't tell them that in the beginning. We're just trying to crack. We're trying to get one little hole in the dam. You with me? We just want one little hole. We get that one policy written, then we can move on. So if I'm recruiting a person, I'm trying to get that one person. I'm not trying to talk them into building a whole business. That's the same thing as talking to a client about an $85 a month policy, and you start telling them about investments and retirement and estate planning and probate and all that crap. No, we're just trying to get a check so they're covered. So the new person we're trying to get started, we're just trying to double our odds. We're not trying to talk them into building a whole business. But you said, listen, to get them to read cash flow quadrant and all that. Yeah, eventually, but not day one. Like day one, we're doing this $85 a month. But day two, we're giving them safe money. Day two, we're giving them save money the safe, easy way. We're giving them buckets of money. We get anything to do with IULs, retirement planning. So we got to get in first.
Hey, Andy, I think the story that, can change depending on your audience. If you're sitting with a final expense guy that's single, has no kids, thinks the state's going to take care of it, you pull out the story about your uncle that was single and died. If you're sitting with a wealthy person, you pull out the story of your grandma who has an annuity that pays them for life. If you're sitting with the person who has life insurance with no living benefits, you pull out the story of your mom who had life insurance with no living benefits and how things would have been different. So I think the story can change. Know your audience.
Your stories are like the tools in my desk, right?
Right.
I got my Molly bolt. I got my white paper. I got my training. I got my tequila guns. We ain't going to tell them everything, but I got a bunch of stories. So you got stories. You got different bullets for different animals. You get different stories for different situations. You find out a person's making $200,000 a year, love their boss, love their job, love their situation in life, but they sure would like to make an extra $100,000. That's a different story that you tell that person than the person who's making $62,000. They want to kill somebody. They're frustrated. That's brilliant, Beret. Give me a unique story that you're setting people up setting them up to buy life insurance.
If I'm running final expense, I use the story of my uncle who didn't have kids, was never married, got diagnosed with cancer, went to see him. We were halfway to Texas. We got the call from the hospice nurse. We didn't make it in time. My dad pulled over, watched my dad grieve, and rather than being able to just grieve, he had to pull out his credit card because my uncle thought that because he had no kids, because he had no wife, that it wasn't going to be anybody's problem.
It's been an hour and a half we've been talking
about that.
Yeah.
Because people go like, my person knows everything. I've already told them everything. Not really. You explain to them the difference between how hard work it is and a big dream. Have you ranked themselves 3, 7, 9? Do they know what they're trying to become? Have you told them the story? How about this? I got a great job, make plenty of money. You know what's interesting? One of our top people named Bridget. She works in IT, makes $160,000 a year, loves her job, loves her boss, won't quit her job, but on the side, she's going to make $250,000, maybe $300,000 this year. But she does it on the side. So don't let the fact you got a great job and a great boss stop you from earning an extra $50,000 or $20,000 on the side. She's a great example. I can't wait to introduce you to her at family reunion. And it's funny because most of her team is like that. They make really good money. They do this on the side. Most of her team is like that. This is for a person who don't want to quit their job. Person ain't got the job. We're talking about Terry Edwards. Corporate company screwed him. Corporate company screwed him. He answers a deadgum Craigslist ad. First month makes $8,000 deposited in his checking account, more money he ever made in the banking industry. You'll meet Terry and Tia at family reunion. And he'll tell us, so his wife thought it was illegal. She's got to be illegal. You make that kind of money first time. Banking, master's degree, him and his wife. And there's other things I would say if I'm trying to get you in, I've described their life. That's why I like the way they doing these descriptions of the new Americans. Y'all like that? Where's their degree, where they're from, history, heritage, different certificates they have, different what they were doing in other country. So it's the same thing as what kind of you were in the stage business, and you were in the teeth business, down in the mouth business. So history, so we can tell stories that relate to people. So you pull that quiver, or you pull that arrow out of your quiver that suits the person, and that's the story you shoot. That's the story you pitch. That's the story you tell. Now, what I want to do is spend 2 more hours talking about text dialing and say, all right, here's what we do, and giving examples. But I've done a good, might be great, y'all can tell me if it's good or great, YouTube that Jessica is going to be posting on the agency manager WhatsApp. The link to it, we're going to do the link in Spanish and the link in English. And you need to study that, because you set up these stories, and then you get into text dialing, or you get into call everybody you know. Taylor's been with us. How long have you been with us, Taylor, now? 2 weeks? A month, 4 weeks. Just got her boyfriend in class, and just got one of our other best friends in class. And we've been selling her every month. But I know people that they join a company as a recruiter, and they never recruit a single one of their friends. You got to wonder, like we got to give it a shot. And maybe you do, maybe you don't. But what we don't want to do is not shoot. In other words, I admire failure as much as I admire success. What I don't admire is no action, no activity, no shot. And it would upset me if one of your friends, Joshua, that thinks you're crazy as hell, and then they get in insurance, because insurance is legal. Insurance is real. Insurance is meaty. Insurance is clearly legit. But you didn't tell them. But then they get in insurance with somebody else. And you say, well, I didn't think you would have got in with me. And they go, I wouldn't have got in with you, but I would have got in insurance no matter who it was. You see what I'm saying? In other words, we teach them to give it a shot. If everybody says no, everybody says no. But if everybody says no, what do we need to do? Ask them again. But we need to do it, especially young, like y'all 3 blocks right there, young, sharp, kind of people we're looking for. I don't want one of your friends that's your age, or 2 or 3 years older, or 2 or 3 years younger, to get that text. Hey, looks like I'm in insurance like you are. They need to know that you want them. One time I was talking to somebody, Joshua, and he said, I'm going to be honest with you, Andy. I'm going with a different company, and I want to tell you why. And I go, why? He said, I think they really want me bad. And I went, because I was posturing him. I was posturing without pulling him. You with me? Come over here. Come here. Come here. Go this way. He goes, I want you in business, but don't stay right there. I want you in business with me, but I need you with me. You got to pull and push. Posture, but if you only posture and then she goes with another company that wants her, and then the reason is she didn't come to me is I didn't know you wanted me. I didn't know you wanted me in the business. I didn't know you wanted me here. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I said, I'm not going to let that happen again. Pablo knows I want him. I've told him I've spent hours talking to him. And I get it. I hope he becomes president of the lawyer company, but I still want him. I got several kids I'm taking out to dinner. I want them all in business. I want every one of them to make $20 million a year in the NFL. I'm going to tell them all one more time. I want you in business. And when you're making $20 million in the NFL, I want you to build an insurance company on the side. And you go, why? Because I'd like to see them making $40 million on the side of their $20 million. And the day that $20 million ends, if they break their neck, if their shoulder goes out, and they got nothing but an NFL pension, which I don't think you can get one unless you last 2 years, I want them to have a source that they can make $30 million, $40 million still. And it'd be fun to have somebody that played in the NFL or active in the NBA on our team. They got to know you want them. So anybody you like that you know in your family, you can grab. I want you to commit. I want you to let them know that we want them in this business with us. That we want them to travel. We're going to Thailand next year. How many people? Oh, would you like to go to Thailand with us? Go to Bangkok. We went to Bangkok. That's not Thailand, or is it? It is Bangkok and Chiang Mai. It's going to be fun. The helpful guys. 1 to 10.
That was great. 10, 11.
Great.
Fantastic.
Next Tuesday, tonight, Gina and Abian are doing a meeting in Atlanta. Next Tuesday, me, Patrick, and some other people, Adam Katz, we're going to come at the same location, and it's going to be jam-packed. So you need to get there early because we're going to pack that room out. I know it only holds 40. I don't care. I told Missy, I don't care. We're going to jam it up. So everybody that's there tonight is going to be recruiting. I'm going to mess them up. I'm just telling you. I'm coming. Elephant killing. Send them. Get your ads running. Get your LinkedIn. But it's crazy not to do this. And look where everybody's going to be. You got their dates on the family reunion. Should cover here the hot spots. By the way, showing people how to find it on our the Alliance events. Gina and Alex are tonight. Joe Walker's doing a meeting today in Oakland, California. Gary Philistine is doing a Creole asset business. What are y'all laughing at?
I'm just excited.
Jake means
But they're so crazy, I don't know if I want to know. I don't want to know. Gina Hawks, tomorrow, she leaves Atlanta, and tomorrow she's doing a meeting in Fort Lauderdale. Haven Gilda is doing a Hindi meeting. India. So if you don't know what's coming up, you can't run ads that focus on where these people are. And I have my favorites. So Abian's doing one with Justin Marguson in Valdosta, Georgia. So first he's in Atlanta, then he's going down to Valdosta. So I'm going to be in Atlanta next week. If you can put people there, we're going to be selling family reunion. What else? Congratulations. Where does rings go? I want the rings. Congratulations. Congratulations on Jerry and Cassie, executive vice presidents. Woohoo! We're going to be giving away these rings and other recognition at family reunion. That's going to be fun. Y'all going to get to wear those around. Make your kids kiss them and stuff. Jake and Beret, y'all ain't right. Wrap us up. Take us home, Jake and Beret. This is it. I ain't doing nothing with Sarah and Joshua. It's just y'all. Y'all the new board member people. Wrap us up. We hanging up.
Extremely grateful for you and Jane and everyone else. But all I can say, like the new people out there, the veteran people out there, just get started, stay excited, don't quit. Like this happens every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern, 10:30 Mountain. Like we've been on these every single week for the last 6-7 years. And people will say, oh, I've already been on one of those, or I've been to a hot spot. I'm like, no, yeah, it's not the same. Like, look at, we just learned this afternoon. So just do it. It's easy enough to do. It's easy enough not to do. Just do it. They're telling you for a reason. So I've appreciated this. This is huge. Tell them we want them. I'm fired up. I just hired my best friend, my best man, the best man in my wedding. So we hired him. We're hiring him. He's coming over tonight. We're getting it all started.
And you've been telling him all along you're in the business?
Oh, dude, I've been hounding him. I said, dude, you're going to come do this with me. So he's
13 years it took me to get Danny Johnson. 13 years staying after his ass.
Mm-hmm. So,
all right, Beret, what say ye?
No, I'm just excited. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Mike and Noel and Joseph, just all the leadership that you guys have given to us. And I'm excited to continue to grow. And I'm really extremely grateful for our team because they were the ones pushing. They were the ones fighting. So I'm just excited to share everything with them.
I was in Scotland last week. This guy comes up to me, shaking hands. I was with American Amicable. By the way, I really, really, really am pushing them. I really love those guys. I'm really impressed with this guy. Comes up to me, and he tells him his name, and he says, I watch every show you do. I'm on there on Wednesday. Congratulations on the grandbaby. He's talking to me, and he tells me his name, and I was like, all right. And I'm thinking, you know, because our people don't go there. We do our own trip. So I'm thinking, did he work with us? Was he in Amway with me? Did he know me? And I didn't. I said, all right. So I leaned over to Darren, who's an executive, and he told me, I said, was he in my group or something? Did he quit? He watches every show. He goes, I'm not surprised. No, his granddaddy was rich in insurance, and his daddy, and he's took over the agency, and he's building an agency. I'm sure he's just trying to steal and learn everything you do. And I went back and grabbed him, and I was like, smart. I have people on our team. Tell this story to people. On our team. They'll see me at family reunion. They go, you had that grandbaby yet?
Oh, no.
What's his name? And you wonder, I had a young lady ask me, she said, how come some people have been with y'all for a long time and just, it looks like they're not growing or stuck? Is it this system? Is it this company? Is that the problem? And it's the very person that don't know anything that's going on in my life, with the company's life, because they already know everything, but they can't seem to get that crazy traction and get that growth because they don't plug in. They don't lean in. They don't watch and learn and listen, and they're not part of the show. Tell the stories. Love y'all. Hope this is helpful. I'll see some explosive growth out of y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks.